Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Recover Loud, a talk show dedicated to help end the stigma of substance use disorder. I want to start tonight's show by expressing my gratitude and appreciation for everyone that watches the show, shares the show, and reaches out to tell me how it's affected their lives. I'm choking up a little bit because this means so much to me. This is an attempt at helping to save lives. And the honest truth of it is, in the end, I know if a life is saved today, that is just for today. This is a constant battle that we suffer and deal with, and it means a lot to me to get your support and that you share this with your friends and your family. So thank you for watching. Got a great show today. Our friend Ryan Paige from Access Direct Recovery Network is going to talk to us about his recovery journey and what he does today to give back to the community. Let's watch some pictures of Ryan's journey, and then we'll get right to it.
Doesn't matter where you come from, it's alright. Yeah, yeah. It doesn't matter where you come from, it's alright. Yeah, yeah. It doesn't matter where you come from, it's alright. I came up from the bottom of a bottle with rebels and desperados. It was long days and hard nights, but I had to struggle for my dream, cause nobody else could see it. I was no one to turn to somebody with just a little faith. There's nothing I can achieve. Yeah, I was going the wrong way and then I turned right. But if I could be anybody, I wanna be me. Cause it don't matter where you're from, only matter where you going. Nobody giving me none, I'm placing a bet on myself and I'm all in. I got the mind of a broke man, mixed with the heart of a lion. I'ma keep giving my all, cause that's just who I am. Yeah, I'm a different breed, sprouted from a gifted seed, turned into a problem child, that was just my destiny. Now I see the best in me, cleaning up my messy feet, wipe away my ego, then replace it with integrity. That's the man that I'm gonna be, son of Adam and born of Eve. Yeah, everybody mess up a couple times, why they trying to throw stones at me? I ain't no Superman, but I can see right through you. Cut me open, now you know I'm bleeding just like you. But if I could be anybody, I wanna be me. Yeah, I just wanna be.
My name is Ryan Paige, and I recover loud.
Hey guys, I'm here with Ryan Paige from Access Direct Recovery Network. Ryan, I'm so happy to have you here today.
Happy to be here, Mike.
You know, we've known each other for a couple of years, and watching your growth and the work that you put in to help the community has been awesome.
Thank you.
You know, there's a lot of people out there in the community that inspire others, and you are one that inspires me, and I'm grateful to have you here.
Thank you. Feeling's mutual. It really is.
And I believe you, you know, and, you know, that's something that, you know, in recovery, we speak the truth. You know, we definitely appreciate the people around us and the work that we're doing because we know what it's like.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your nonprofit that you just started, Access Direct Recovery Network?
So my wife and I started a nonprofit called Access Direct Recovery Network, and our mission is to connect people suffering with substance use disorder to early recovery resources. Those being things like detox, residential treatment, sober living. You know, in a real amount of time. What we found is that, you know, through lots of experience with this, right, is that there's a severe lack of resources in Maine, and even the ones that are here, you know, when we're out there and we're doing the thing, man, like, we don't understand where they are, and it's, you know, even simple phone calls for me early on was a monumental task, and if I had to call a detox and then a treatment center, and I kept getting told no every place I called when I'm in this really small window of trying to get help and you know, where I'm willing to do something to change my life, then if I get told no in that window, I know that, you know, I can go back to the street again, right? And that's a lot quicker than the solution that people are offering me. Plus, we get to a point where I'm ready to change. I tried to change. I got the door shut on me.
Exactly.
So it's just not for me. It's never going to happen. And I was there. So, we started the nonprofit to make sure that nobody has to be there. There's always a solution. The network grows daily. We started with just local network, right? Having, the detoxes and treatment centers in Maine, but then realizing that those are really small, and the waiting list to get into a lot of them is 3 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And we don't have that kind of time. So we started a network out of state with facilities that were willing to work with us and take people from Maine and work around a budget and help scholarship. And that's kind of what we do, is just try to connect and direct people to a solution for themselves.
Yeah, and just to give an idea of your dedication to this, your wife and I, your wife and yourself.
Yes.
You just got married, what, a month ago?
Yeah. December 21st, yep.
And tell everybody what your honeymoon looked like.
On our honeymoon, we took some time to go up and down the eastern seaboard, and while we were there, we decided to reach out to facilities that we could meet with and view facilities and try to put them in network to try to save lives back at home. So it was part pleasure, part business, and but it's necessary. We were down there, and my wife is also a huge supporter of all things recovery. She's an amazing woman. That's why I married her. Yeah. And she's super understanding, and we have the same kind of passion to help people. And so going down there was for us, and at the same time for others. I think that everything we do kind of revolves around how we can be of assistance and help other people.
So that just goes to show that the recovery lifestyle, that we learn to live in. We have to take our recovery serious. We have to live our recovery. We have to, practice our rituals daily, because even though we're out there helping other people, this stuff gets heavy.
Yeah.
And the work that we put in, is for someone that's not in recovery, they may choose to go out and have a drink or use something to get it off,
yeah.
But we don't have that option,
Right.
We can't choose to do that. So we have to do, what we have to do, and we have to deal with the situation.
Right.
Find a way to cope with it in a way that's healthy for us.
Right.
But we have to take care of us first.
Amen.
So what are some of the things that you do for your own recovery? Because I know you're doing so much for so many others. How are you taking care of you?
So I'm a 12-step guy. I work a program. I have a sponsor. I sponsor other guys, and I still, part of what I do really is really a core part of what that 12-step program looks like, which is helping others to find their way to recovery. So, when I have struggles, I have those resources that I've learned through the program that I've worked. I always have my sponsor to bounce things off of. I practice rigorous honesty, man. I think that it's important to know, your surroundings and know your situations. And I know that when it gets too heavy, that I can lighten the load, man, and I don't have to use a substance to do that, which is really one of the gifts of my recovery, right? Because before, that was the solution. Like, things are getting heavy, I'm stressed, I'll just pick up, and if I pick up, it'll get better, except it always got progressively worse. So that solution became less of a solution over time. So today, I'm able to reach out and to speak to people and let people know when I'm struggling, because ultimately that's the most important time, right? Like, it's easy to be doing, the things. I posted something on Facebook the other day, man, and it said, "Don't let the pretty pictures fool you. I almost died fighting for this life," and that's actually true. I mean,
yeah, we showed some pictures of your journey.
Yeah.
And we included in there, a graphic picture of you.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us what that experience was like, and was that what got you into recovery?
So that was what really pushed me forward into my recovery. I believe that recovery starts when you start thinking like, this is enough, like I've had enough. I think that's where recovery starts for us. And my path wasn't linear. It bounced in all kinds of different directions, and for a long time I kind of thought I could handle things and manage them the way that I wanted to manage them. Ultimately was false. But when you look at that picture, what you see there is somebody that has been trying to do it on his own for a long time, had tried all ways available to mankind at that point, except a 12-step program. And that's what worked for me. Not to say that's everybody's path or that's what is going to work for everybody, but I had tried all the other things. And at the end of the day, like, I was just broken. And my mother had taken that picture on my last overdose. That was my second overdose in 2 weeks. That was on September 7th in 2019. And I'd like to say that I that day I woke up in the hospital and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be sober from here on out. That's not how that story looked. I left there and I got high again, and I struggled, and I struggled to maintain any kind of semblance of sobriety until I made a decision to leave the situation that I was in and really do something that was uncomfortable, which was leaving a relationship and my child and going into into sober living and trying a new way of life. But without that happening, I wouldn't be here today. Also, without naloxone, without Narcan, I'm not here today. Yeah. So big ups to naloxone.
Yeah, and you are somebody that distributes naloxone. I
am.
You carry it. You're involved with a lot of different organizations to help push this stuff. The Advocacy of Recovery, you're part of the Maine Recovery Advocacy Project. Recently we've all been working on the Expand Good Sam for Maine campaign.
Yep.
It's not going as we'd hoped, but honestly, just getting the information out there we know can potentially save a life.
Yes.
People need to know that they can call 911. We don't need to leave people alone to see what happens.
Right.
We don't need to push them out of our car so we don't get in trouble. We don't need to try to take them to the hospital anonymously.
Right.
We can call 911 and be, okay, and not have to worry about, getting arrested, getting charged for a certain set of crimes. Where our goal is to increase that list of crimes that it would protect people from, as well as, cover more people in the home, other than just the people that, it only takes one person to call 911.
Right.
But that's not to say that there's not 3 or 4 people trying to help the situation. Right. And, as the law is today, it protects the person that's on the phone.
Yeah.
So, it makes sense to us who have been in the situations, who have seen it happen, to really expand that.
Yes.
And, our lawmakers need to hear that from us because, like I said, we've experienced it. We know what we're going through on the streets. And I think what happened at the last session was, people are more worried about people getting away with, using substances. But I can guarantee you, people who have a history of using substances are going to use substances.
Without a doubt.
And we're going to do what it takes
to get them.
We don't choose to, steal from our kids, steal from our parents. It becomes necessity to live the lifestyle that we need to live. It's
right.
not a choice. So tell me a little bit about some of the other things you do. The other organizations, and how that helps you.
Sure. So I wear a couple different hats. First and foremost, the most important hat I wear is a person in long-term recovery. I think that's the first notable thing I can say is, being a person in recovery is the greatest alignment that I have, right? The greatest allies of the recovery community as a whole. I'm a father. I am a husband. I am a friend. And outside of all those things, I am also a board member on the Church of Safe Injection. which is a harm reduction organization. I am an organizer with Maine Recovery Advocacy Project. I am also a board member. Randy Beard would like to say that I'm the president of Recover Together, which is a Facebook recovery group that does amazing things, in the process of turning that to a nonprofit 501c3 now. So, you know, I get to be a part of those things. I'm also a part of the 12-step community, and, you know, allied with recovery organizations all over. And I think that's, you know, that's a huge part of why I am where I am today. I think that something that I searched for a long time that I couldn't find, and I think a lot of us have this, is we search for a purpose, a placement, somewhere we belong. That's why I felt so comfortable out there for so long. Like, maybe this was bad, and maybe these people were doing things that weren't right, but I was comfortable there, and I knew my place there, and I belonged. And that was my people. The people that were actively using drugs, people who use drugs, are my people. They are similar to me in many ways. I found my place there, and I didn't think I would ever find my place and people like me anywhere else. So by recovering loud, by doing what we do, we show that there are people like us that were there, that are now here, and I found my place again. It's very similar to my old lifestyle in a lot of ways, right? I have a lot of connections. I have a lot of people that I go to get things I need, and I think that leads us into the whole hope dealer portion of kind of where we're at, right? Like, you know, I lived a lifestyle where I sold dope, and you can define dope as whatever you want: coke, heroin, weed, whatever it was. I sold that. I dabbled in that. I did that, and so as a dope dealer, I had what you were looking for on deck, right? I can get that. I can get you. If I don't have it, I can get it for you. You know, when I got into the recovery advocacy and connecting with people, I applied the same principle. This is life knowledge. It's life experience that I've gained, and I used it in the wrong way for a long time.
Right, and it made you who you are.
Right.
I mean, and you can't deny that.
Right, no, not at all. And I embrace that now.
Yeah, exactly. And we just redirect that.
Right.
You know.
So if we direct, we redirect, you know, and for anybody that's like me, right, my addiction was a 24-hour job.
Yeah.
I woke up, I had to find a substance, I had to connect with people, I had to figure out a scam, a scheme, I had to lie, it was exhausting.
Yeah.
It was exhausting to do, but I did it because, you know, the end result was what I wanted. You know, we turned that around, and we put a portion of that drive that we put into ruining our lives into bettering our lives, and we become these Goliaths of being able to get things done. I mean, the resiliency and the ability to come together and get things done in the recovery community is bar none the best thing Maine got going.
Yeah.
Like, as far as, you know, recovery, as far as treatment goes and options and availability, very low. But when it comes to people in recovery showing up, showing out, and getting things accomplished, we get that done. And it's a direct result of the lifestyle that we lived up to this point. So if we talk about going from a dope dealer to a hope dealer, it's a similar principle, right? People are out there looking for something. You know, I was out there looking for hope. That's what I wanted, hope. I just wanted to not be sick another day. I wanted hope that I can get better. And you know, and we're all hope dealers, the whole community of us. You know, you, Recover Loud, Recovery on the Road, Rise and Grind, like all of us that are out here really doing some work, man, we have that thing, right? That one thing that people want, that we wanted so badly. I just wanted to be sober for a day. And because I'm able to stay sober today, for somebody that can't or cannot find their way there, that's hope. So we got that on deck all day.
Absolutely.
If you need any reminder that there is hope, look at people that are in recovery. We are living, walking proof that hope does exist. And in that way, we're all hope dealers.
And, you know, it's grown way beyond that.
Right.
And, you know, and all we're doing really is sharing stories of people like you who have been through it, found a way to get out of it, and you're reaching back into the darkness to help people out. There's a lot of good nonprofits out there helping people all the time. But find me another segment of the population other than people in recovery that are out there doing this as much, as hard, as often. And we do it because we know the only real end to substance use disorder, if we don't get out of it, is death. And
Right.
it might not be today. And, you know, it might not be tomorrow.
But it's coming.
It's coming. And, you know, that's, you know, we lose so many people in our community, and it gets heavy. And me personally, I just took 2 days off from work this week, and I had a stomach bug, but I was so drained. You know, this work, I work at Blue Sky Counseling as a certified recovery coach, and, you know, we have offices in central Maine. We just opened up one in Millinocket at my urging, you know, and I'm just a county boy who knows that there's no help in the county. And I went to the owner of Blue Sky and I said, you know, they need help up north. And, you know, our furthest north office was Bangor. And I said, can we go further? And I found somewhere in Millinocket that was looking for a program to move out. And we took that step. And now we're offering a program in Millinocket, in the rural areas of Maine, helping people. And, you know, to me, just having that influence in that decision, it's so heavy, you know, and that's a good thing. But, you know, when I sit back and think about it, you know, the lives that are being saved, I also think about the lives that were lost up till now. You know, and we do what we do. We recover loud for everyone in recovery today, for everyone that's still using today, and for all those who are going to pick up for the first time tomorrow. You know, because it's going to happen, and, you know, we can't prevent it. But we can provide that hope for them later on. And,
We can.
you know, the work you do, the work other people do, it's amazing stuff. And I do want to thank you for coming today, Ryan.
Thank you for having me.
I love you, brother.
I love you
You're
too,
one
man.
of my favorites.
Thank you so much.
And
Likewise.
You know, I'm glad you took the time to come on today.
It's a privilege, it really is. Thank you.
Watch Recover Loud on YouTube, as well as on PMC's Channel 5, the Greater Portland area, Thursday nights at 7, and it's also rerun throughout the week. If you'd like to support our program and the work that we do, please send us an email at recoveryotr18@gmail.com. You know, we are looking to become a nonprofit organization ourselves to help the community in more ways. This was just a way that happened, you know, it fell into my lap. And, you know, I wasn't even somebody that liked being on camera, but here I am, stepping out of my comfort zone because I know the potential that this program has. You know, we have goals. We'd like to get into more markets. You know, we'd like to get out and speak to people in schools. And, you know, actually Randy Beard is setting that up now so we can get out there and talk. And,
Amen.
you know, Randy was on the show. Tyler Jones was on the show. And the other night, I just got a clip this morning from Tyler. The other night, his program, Purpose Pups, made it onto the Late Show. But, you know, that's people in our recovery community getting out there, making progress, helping people, and it's making a difference, and I love seeing it. So thank you, Tyler, for what you do. Thank you, Randy, for what you're doing. All of our guests on the show up to this point. This is our 8th show.
True.
I didn't think it would go beyond, you know, the first couple, and I'm just blown away by the support and the love that we're getting. So thank you again. Have a good night, everybody, and recover loud.
Recover loud.
Like snort. So every time I call, you pick up the phone and always reminding me that I'm not alone. And even when I'm scared and my feet are frozen, you help me keep it going like a semicolon. Every time I fall, you just pick me up. Say you was down to ride through the thickest mud, and you was on my side when I was slipping up. And even when I made you cry, you still give me love. So I gotta thank God. I've gained, so no matter what it costs, yeah, I'll be willing to pay. Cause every time I call, you pick up the phone, and always reminding me that I'm not alone, and even when I'm scared and my feet are frozen, you help me keep it going like a semicolon. So I'ma follow your steps for all of the way. I put my faith in you and walk on the waves. And if I stumble a bit and fall on my face, you come and save me with all of your grace. Yeah, thank God.
So, today, we're gonna be shooting downtown Biddeford. That's where I'm from, it's hometown. We're gonna be shooting for the Feel It project. It's a public service announcement of sorts for those suffering through addiction, people that we've lost out here. I'm hoping that becomes a big thing, and people are able to memorialize people that they've lost through this. And that's what the attempt is, try to give it back. So I hope y'all enjoy the project.
I am now listening to a book.
From our people, man.